Welcome to another edition of the Coach Simmons Coaches Show. Coach, good to see you. Still rolling?
Still rolling. So far.
Survive and advance.
That's the name of the game.
That's right.
Survive and advance.
A great game. Hats off to Vincent. They played a great football game, especially in the second half. They were well prepared. You guys were well prepared. And it was what a playoff game should be. A close game, right to the end. And you guys were able to get a big interception. We'll talk about that in a minute. And kind of put the game away. So tell us some things that you guys you kind of broke down some things after the game, and maybe even in the moment that you guys looked at when you saw the game, why we were successful and able to win the football game.
Well, we faced a lot of adversity last Friday night. We've had 4 turnovers all year, then we have 2 in that game.
Yeah.
Then they get that onside kick after the penalty, and that put them down there, and we were fortunate enough to hold them out. But breaking down the film, we did not play very well up front on both sides of the ball as the game went on. So we really got to get that cleaned up. I mean, we made some mistakes that we haven't made all year up front on both sides of the ball. So if we clean that up, it'll really help us out going forward.
Sure. I felt Landon Kelly ran the ball very well, especially in some big moments. I'll talk about Landon's performance last week on the offensive side. A lot of times when we talk about Landon, we talk about defense, but he did well offensively. We'll talk a little bit about his game last week.
Well, he did. It's like we've been talking about all year. If you try and take Chris away, then what are you going to do with Landon? So, Landon toted the ball a lot. He had over 100 yards rushing, and when Chris gets that pick to get us the ball back with 3 or 4 minutes left, whatever it was, Landon came up to me and said, "Give me the ball." So if you have a senior leader that comes up to you and says, "Give me the ball,"
you give him the football.
You give him the ball.
Absolutely.
And we gave him the ball, and he went right down the field. He did 5, 6, 7, 8 plays, just straight quarterback run, and it sealed the game for us.
Sure. But let's talk about the interception. Chris ran back 99 yards. Great coverage there. They had momentum. They were moving the football. Had good field position. What were some things on the backside of the defense that allowed that to happen? And not only that, blocking down the field to get the touchdown. So what were some things you guys saw on that play?
Well, Chris steps in front of that, and when Chris gets in the open field, he's an athlete. He's hard to tackle. And when he gets 1 or 2 blocks in the open field, you're going to have a tough time, corralling him.
Sure.
And Brock made a real good block on that, as the return was going on, and then Landon very, very smartly. You can see it on film. You can see it on the NFHS camera very, very smartly. There's a guy that's, I don't know if he's going to catch Chris or not, but he's right there. But Landon just throws his hands up and just steps in front of him.
Yeah, I remember that.
That just, wasn't nobody going to catch him after that. So a lot of times on a long interception return like that, you're going to have somebody blocking the back or a clip or something like that. So when he gets to about the 40-yard line, I'm just yelling, "Don't touch anybody!
Yeah,
don't
get away!"
Yeah. So it was it was a huge play in the game, and that's a 14-point swing right there.
Absolutely. One of the things Landon did on Friday that I guess technically is on the stat sheet. He had a great punt at the goal line.
I was talking to Bruce yesterday, I think it was. I said, there's a lot of plays in that game that people are going to talk about, but there's one that was really a very, very key play in that game.
Yeah.
And Bruce looked at me and said, "The punt."
The punt,
said,
absolutely.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Yeah, because it went from the goal line to the other side of the 50 after the roll, and they were probably assuming we're going to get some great field position out of this.
Right, and then you totally flipped the field and we were able to hold them out.
Yeah, man, that was a great play. And a couple of kids I noticed also, not calling names out, things. I thought Dylan Chancey I called his name out several times.
Chancey probably had the best game he's ever had, to be honest with you. Yeah. We were watching film Monday, and Bradley and I both told him that's probably the best game you've played in your life.
Yeah, he played very well.
So if you're going to have the best game you've ever played in your life, I'm glad it's during the second round of the playoffs.
Absolutely,
You just can't have a fall off on that.
Yeah, and that quarterback, he was an athlete himself.
Yes.
Could throw the ball. I felt like, we're up in the press box talking, I would have run him more because when he got in the open field, he did good things with football for them.
Obviously. They were a really good team. They had 17 seniors, and they were like we talked about last week. They were really good at what they did.
Sure.
So we were fortunate enough to get out of there, and like I said, we faced a lot of adversity, and the kids overcame it.
Yeah.
They had every opportunity. When the bad stuff started happening, they had every opportunity to just kind of quit and lay down. They didn't.
Well, congratulations on a big win. Looking forward to seeing you talk about Sulligent. We'll preview them in just a moment. As always, we appreciate Bradley providing highlights for us. You can enjoy these now from last week's big playoff win against the Vincent Yellow Jackets. All right, Coach, a lot of times in your playoffs, you play teams you're not familiar with, like Vincent. This round, we've got a team that we've played a lot, played against these kids a lot. They came over to our Free State kickoff from the Sulligent Blue Devils. They were in our region for a couple of years, I guess, at least, if not 4 years. They've gotten hot. Coach Gunnels doing a great job. And Coach Gunnels is a great coach.
He is.
He did a good job at Brilliant when he was there. Took them, I think, to the semifinals one year. But let's talk about Sulligent. What can we expect to see out of them on Friday night?
Well, like we talked about, it's the third round of the playoffs. There's 8 teams left, in 2A in the state. So there's not a bad one out there. If we don't go out there and play, then we're gonna be in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
Coach Gunnels, like you said, he's a really, really good coach, and they've got a really, really good team. And we have to go there. Now, we've been fortunate, Vincent had to come a couple hours, and their first round of the game, they had to go almost 3 hours and play. We're fortunate that we only have to go to Sulligent, so that's a blessing. But that's a really tough place to play. Their crowd is going to be rocking, and it's going to be cold, and we just really need to show up and get on quick.
They'll be ready. Like you said, Sulligent's accustomed to big football games, especially in that stadium. Both of us grew up playing in that stadium. It was probably one of my least favorite places to play. Just to be honest with you, it's always tough to get a win there. Let's talk about some of their players we're familiar with. AJ Lowe, we've seen him, over probably his whole career playing against Winston County. Great football player. He's back, able to play with them. What does he bring to the table for Sulligent?
Well, we know him well, and we know that when they hand him the ball, he can tote it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really, really good. They have now some kids that can really complement him. The quarterback is a really, really good runner. The Gam boy, Hagan, I think, is number 3.
That's right.
He is a very, very good athlete. They can use him. They can give him kind of like we use Chris. They can give him the ball and speed sweep or flip it out there to him or just run him downhill. You can't just say we're going to stop 9, because if you do that, that we're going to be weak in some other areas.
Sure.
So we just got to go and play the defensive football that we've played all year.
Yeah. To your point about Gann, number 3, in the Free State, I don't remember what opponent they were playing. It came down to time was out.
Yeah, that was on the last play.
Yeah, I think they just got the ball to him. He got out in space.
Yeah, just threw a little bubble screen to him, and he went in with no time left.
And it wasn't a short run. It was about a 40-yard run, if I remember.
He's an athlete. He's really, really good.
Well, we know they're going to be well prepared, and, of course, we're going to Sulligent. Like you said, we haven't had to do that. And it's a place, we're familiar. So we want everybody to come out Friday night to Sulligent High School and support the boys. Coach, you've done a great job this year. We're proud as a community for all the work that you and the boys are doing, and we look forward to watching you guys on Friday night.
I appreciate it. We still got a lot to play for. The school record for wins is what?
13.
And we're 12-0.
That's right.
So these kids have the opportunity to, in my eyes, be the winningest football team that's ever been at Winston County High School.
Absolutely.
So they have a lot. They have a lot going for them. They have a lot to play for, and the moment hasn't gotten too big for us, all year when we've been in big situations. So I'm hoping that we just stay level-headed and keep the train on the tracks, and I think if we do that, we'll be okay.
Sounds good. Well, Coach, good luck Friday night.
Yes, sir. Go Jack.
And Winston County kicks off third round of the state playoffs this Friday night at Sulligent, 7 p.m. All right, a player interview this week for Kim Moore, senior defensive back and running back, wide receiver. I think I announced you as a wide receiver, but you play a little everything, don't you? Yeah. Well, that's good. So let's talk about Vincent. You guys, big win, big playoff win. From your perspective as a player and leader on the team, why were you successful on Friday?
Played good up front.
Yeah.
Chris did a lot, made a play stuff. I mean, everybody just did their job.
Well, one play that you made, let's talk about that. So the second interception he made, he doesn't make that interception without something you did. You jammed that receiver off the line. He lost his balance and fell. He didn't get to the little hole in the zone. So what were you seeing there when you're jamming somebody off a line? What do you see there? What's some good fundamentals? Kind of explain what that is to people.
Just don't let them off the ball.
Just don't let them off the ball. So at what point does it go from jamming off a line to being pass interference?
Like 5 yards on.
5 yards. So you have a little bit of leeway right there. Yeah. So from our perspective, when I saw the ball thrown, I thought, uh-oh, and then I saw him stumbling, and I saw you standing there, and I was like, thank goodness for Rakim.
Well, they give you a few yards.
They give you a few yards. Yeah. As long as you don't get up in the face mask and stuff, get hands to the face or something like that. All right. Well, let's talk about Sulligent. You've played against Sulligent, I guess, your whole career as a high school player. They've been in our region up until this year for a few years now. They're obviously a very hot football team, good football team. What are some things they do well?
Physical. Got a dog at running back.
Yeah, AJ Lowe. When I saw him at the Free State, I thought he graduated. I was like, I can't believe he's still playing. But because he's been around a long time for you guys playing against each other, excellent player. So, what are some things you think you guys can do to help slow down their running game?
You just got to make tackles.
Make tackles. Okay. Well, that's good. Just be fundamentally sound then. Okay. Well, let's talk about. Now, we're not looking ahead. We want to keep going until December 6th. That's the championship game, by the way, just so you know. We want to keep rolling until then. But basketball is upcoming. And what are some things you guys have done with Coach Clark and getting ready for basketball?
We just have a little shoot around of this stuff on Thursdays when we ain't got practice.
Yeah, just getting used to getting on the court and that kind of thing. So our junior high boys team having a great year. So they already kind of got it started. But we're also looking forward after December 6th. Getting you guys on the hardwood. So, you ever play football during Thanksgiving week? Mm-mm. You want to next week, right? So that'll be
hold on. No, we did it. I think we did it my 10th grade year.
Maybe 10th grade year. I don't remember.
We didn't.
Well, that's all right. So we want you guys to be playing football next week, okay? And we're looking forward to watching you guys play against Sulligent. Rakim and Jackets kick off this Friday night at Sulligent High School, 7 p.m.
Welcome everybody to this week's edition of Yapping with Yeager. Today we have a very special guest again, JJ Jerome Jordan. So JJ, I think it was episode 4 last time we had you on here. Yeah. So you and Kevin, and now we're progressing into the third round of the playoffs. And over the season, there's been multiple big moments. And you want to talk about those big moments we've had through the season and which ones are your favorite?
One of them was the Addison one, and last week, and the Decatur Heritage. That's the only 3 I can remember. A good one.
And the Cold Springs game.
And the Cold Springs
come back in the second half of the Cold Springs game.
Yeah.
And last week at the pep rally, we gave you a haircut. Mm-hmm. How you liking that haircut?
That's good.
You like it?
Yes.
That's a little bit cooler.
Yeah. We didn't even freeze a bit Friday night.
Did not?
No.
And who did Miami play last week?
It was Georgia Tech.
Did they win?
No.
They didn't?
No.
How's their season going this
year?
They're
going real good right now like we are, but they're not undefeated like we are, though.
What's their record?
They're like 9-1.
9-1?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yep. I've looked it up. I've been watching keeping up with on my phone.
I got you. And who is your favorite of all time? Who is your favorite WWE wrestler?
Roman Reigns, and the second would have to be The Rock because they're related.
They're related?
They're cousins.
Are they really?
Yes.
I did not know that. Well, what are your expectations of this week at Sulligent?
We do what we do. Take care of business. Like we know how.
Yes, sir. Well, JJ, thank you for coming out.
You too,
and come back hopefully next week for round 4 of the playoffs.